Reporter's Take. I'm Sakshi Patra and I have with me my colleague Priyanka Sahai, and we are here to talk about the new FDI norms for the e-commerce sector that have come into effect from the 1st of February. Thanks very much, Priyanka, for joining in. Now, give us a sense of what has really happened in the last 3 days after the implementation of these new guidelines.
So, well, Sakshi, these 3 days have been really crucial given the fact that the revised FDI guidelines were implemented without any delay by the government this time on February 1st, much to the dismay of companies such as Flipkart and Amazon. And turns out that, even as the e-commerce companies have expressed their disappointment, they've said that there's little that they can do at this point in time, and they are trying to comply with the norms completely. They're trying to figure out as to how to overhaul the entire structure, and they're completely working to ensure that they are abiding by the regulation and the law of the land as of now. This move, as we see, will impact these companies massively, given that these rules stop them from owning stake in any of the sellers that actually sell on their platform. So it turns out that beginning from February 1st, sellers such as Cloudtail, Appareo, all these sellers cannot sell on Amazon as a marketplace. Now this move has, while this move has been, applauded by the offline retailers associations, they've also said that the government should be very cautious as to how these companies are trying to adhere to the norms. Because what last time had happened when the Press Note 3 had come, the companies had figured out ways to circumvent the laws. So these retailers associations whose businesses were actually being impacted by, before this guideline had come into play, they have requested the government to be very cautious and keep a tight vigil on how these companies are actually going ahead and implementing these laws. Now coming to what the companies have stated. So while both Amazon and Flipkart have said that they will be abiding by the regulations, no one has actually categorically given a statement on which all are the sellers that won't be selling on their marketplaces. However, in a communication made to a customer, Amazon has actually gone ahead and stated that sellers such as, and I'll read it out to you, sellers such as Cloudtail India, Export LLC, Appareo, Amazon Retail India. So these 4 sellers will be temporarily not be selling on the marketplace or will not be selling on Amazon. And also what will happen is that any of the customers who had who'd made a purchase in the past before 31st of January, they will now not be able to replace any of the products that they had purchased from these sellers. So that is basically
kind of a disruption that they will have to face right now. But is this the be all and end all for all these e-commerce giants, or is there any other option available with them right now?
So well, actually it's not the the end of everything, as I would say. There are obviously legal options left with these companies, and as we speak, there are different restructuring of the businesses that these people are trying to evaluate. For instance, what we understand is that Amazon is evaluating if it can convert its sellers, which is Cloudtail and Appareo, into a wholesale unit, and thereafter maybe go via the preferred mode system, wherein these sellers can thereafter source the products from their wholesale units and thereafter sell on the marketplaces yet again. So a load of ifs and buts and theories are yet to be brought into play, but that is what we have for now on this.
But what has been the impact on business, if I may ask, in the last 3 days? Has there been any impact on the sales per se?
So well, definitely, given the fact that Cloudtail was one of the most important seller of Amazon, it's inevitable to say that there will be a lot of impact and massive impact that both these companies would have faced. For now, what we hear from our sources is that anywhere to the tune of say like 30 to 35% of sales have come down, and this has happened immediately after the FDI guidelines have come into play.
Absolutely. And lastly, I want to know from you, Priyanka, was this done only to woo the offline trader community by the government, that this time around they did not bend backwards and they actually went ahead and implemented these guidelines?
There's no doubt to that, Sakshi. I mean, of course, the companies are supposed to be respecting the law of the land, but at the same time, we'll have to look into the picture that this is an election year, and the Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, has the offline retailers, offline associations, offline retailers, they constitute of a huge vote bank for BJP in principle. So while on 26th of December, the FDI guidelines, the revised FDI guidelines were announced, the government was making sure that they do not succumb to the pressure that was being created by Walmart owned Flipkart and Amazon for that matter. Despite multiple requests by both these companies, the government has refused to extend any deadline, and of course it's an election year, so this was indeed I think pretty much expected.
All right, thanks a lot then, Priyanka, for sharing all those thoughts and details on that one. Well, for now, Flipkart and Amazon are on the back foot. They have to actually revise their strategies whenever they're selling these products, because the new revised guidelines have come into effect. But sooner we can also expect some of the other legal recourses that these companies could be taking to be able to allow all those vendors who have right now stopped selling their products over here from a preferred route or something else. And whatever developments are there, we will be sharing all that with you on here at moneycontrol.com. So do stay logged on to moneycontrol.com for more news and updates on that one. Thanks very much for watching.